everyone, this is GrootsCom and welcome back to another episode of Factorio with the BioIndustries mod. In the previous episode we went ahead and we made fertilizer. Now this has actually been cleaned up. I corrected the ratio, so I had some extra chemical plants which I just picked up, and I went ahead and put it in the vehicle for us. Probably don't need all those bricks, I don't think. And what I also did a little bit off camera is I went ahead and cleaned up these parks, just placed multiple parks in here, bio gardens, to remove a lot of the excess pollution, because this produces quite a bit of pollution when it's fully running. Now I have tested and I'm not sure this setup is going to work. Like I said, with the fertilizer recipe, it just produces way too much stuff, and then we end up having an unbalanced ratio of, like, wood pulp, for example, to wood. So our output of wood gets choked out because we have too much wood pulp and we just can't get rid of it. Now I could make more of these cokeries to convert it into charcoal, which is an option, but I would have to design that. And I'm not sure about these lines, 2 belts. Even if I make it 4 belts, which is possible, it's going to be very difficult to manage that. So I'm not really worried about that at this time, though. What I am looking at is either expanding. I mentioned purple and yellow science, but at the same time, as I've been playing a little bit off screen, and I have kind of played a little bit into the future of this just to see like where I want to go in the next episode. And one of the problems that I have is biters. So expansion is turned on and they are getting pretty aggressive. So every once in a while I'll just get like a random attack, and it looks like these are they're just alerts for the construction that we can't do because we don't have any of those bioreactors, but that's fine. So I'm thinking about where I need to do this and how I'm going to do it. And I think, for one thing, I definitely want to start working on expanding my military. Now I did do the prototype artillery, so that's one of the things that I could be making. So the prototype artillery is this guy right here. It takes some electric engines, some concrete, and radar, and it'll launch these, either the basic artillery ammo or the poison ammo, which has a lot more damage because of that poison. So it's basically an additional effect. Everything else is the same, with an increase of 250 poison damage. The ranges are the same. The radius that it affects is the same. So the only thing is those artilleries take a lot of setup. So not only do I need to make the base, which the base is actually really easy to make. I can handcraft those. But then as far as the ammunition goes, what I'm looking at is, I think what I can do is just take this sulfur, because that's needed for explosives. So let's look at the recipes here real quick. To make these guys right here, the artillery poison ammo, I need 5 explosive rockets and I need 5 poison capsules. Now that is going to be a challenge. So let's see, how am I going to do this? Basically, you start with the rocket, which takes 1 explosive, 1 electronic circuit, and 2 iron plates every 8 seconds. And so this recipe takes quite a bit of time. And then the explosive rocket is needed for the artillery poison rocket, but all these things have to be in sequence. So first you make the rocket, and then you can make explosive rockets from that, and then your artillery poison ammo. And I think, yeah, you need to make this artillery basic ammo as well, which takes the rocket. So what I'm looking at when I see this recipe is something that looks like, oh boy, and I only have 1 of these assemblers. Okay, let's just go ahead and make some more of those. What I'm looking at is kind of a square setup. However, the ratios are going to be way different because I need a lot of these. I need a lot of these rockets to make a lot of these explosive rockets, because this is going to take 5 explosive rockets and this takes 10 rockets. So I need a bunch of these, some of these. So you can do it 1-to-1, but it's going to be really slow. So I think to get really aggressive with these biters, I need to kind of go big with this. And I'm thinking I have all this space here. Of course, I need some ingredients from the left-hand side, but I think this area over here I can use for the military setup. So let's just get started with that now. Let's first of all get our, gonna need my sulfur to be on its own line instead of the way it's kind of broken up now. And then this is instead going to be just, it's just going to be ash on that line. And it's only used for one recipe down here, and that's the fertilizer. So let's see if I did, I'm sure there's a way we can do this like this, I think. Let's try this. Bring it here. And there. Now it's basically the same thing. But I do want it on both sides of the belt. It's probably, I mean, this isn't increasing our throughput, so it's probably not that important. But I just like to see a nice balanced belt. Let's make this guy go up. There we go. There we go. Now we got it on both sides of the belt. Let me get rid of any of this sulfur that I have in my inventory. Oops. Nope. Try again. There we go. And another thing too is I also want to make these darts. Now the darts are pretty basic at first. They start out with just raw wood, 10 of these, and these are all 1-to-1. So that's kind of nice. When you build the one basic dart, so you get 10 of them basically in 4 seconds, and then you need 10 of these to make 10 more of the standard darts, and then 10 of these. So you can see it just goes 10 and 10 and 10, but you need more complicated ingredients. So at first it's just wood, then it's copper, then it takes extra plastic, and then it takes these poison capsules. Now the poison capsules actually take quite a bit to make as well. So this is another thing where I'm looking at, you know, how am I gonna make these ratios work? And I think with the poison capsules, I need quite a few of these. These go pretty fast, the darts do, but you need to make these intermediates. I mean, these are just intermediate ingredients which are already made somewhere else, and I can bring down the plastic from here. But the poison capsules are going to be quite tedious to make. So, and one thing I really wish I had down here also is wood, because I do want to make darts as well. And I think I've used the wood turrets, or whatever they're called, the dart turrets I should say. I've used these before, and you can see how fast they shoot. So they go through ammunition extremely quickly. You know what? Since I'm in here, why don't we increase our turret damage if we can? Where is it? It's not there. How am I missing this? Is it not unlocked yet? There it is. No, no, no. Gun turret damage, that's it. So this actually gives us a dart turret damage as well, bonus. So gun turret damage and dart turret damage. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And I really want to bring some wood down as well. And we kind of have some here, but not really. Unfortunately, this should be prioritized, and you can see that it's not getting any wood down there. So what's happening is it's just coming down the line, and it's just getting eaten up and turned into pellet coke, where we should be pulling it off before that. And I think what I'll do is just bring a line down somewhere like here instead to make this a first priority. In fact, I could just break it off right here, which I'll do like this, but flip it. And I guess it'll just flip back to the other way. I'm just going to leave it that way for now. Let's give this an output priority of this side, and we can slow the belt down. We don't need a high-speed belt. That's really, it uses a lot more resources to make those. I don't really like this inside of the lane, but it is what it is. And of course I need more undergrounds. Should have had my car nearby. At least I do have a lot of green circuits. I should have some concrete in my car. No, not enough. I was going to say I could build that prototype artillery base, but no reason to get into that yet. Let's continue this research. Increase our damage even more. Whoop. Oh, and I do want to make more. Oh my gosh, I hate driving on belts. Story of my life. Let's grab these because I want to make more of these assembly machines. Oh my gosh, I forgot undergrounds. I grabbed belts instead. I meant to grab undergrounds. Okay, too far. Wow. There's 100 undergrounds. That ought to do it. Ah. Come on, there we go. Whatever, this is fine. Close enough. Okay, where were we? There we go. And I really don't like wasting undergrounds. I feel that this is kind of wasteful. Oh yeah, and of course I could take that whole assembly out at this point. Oop. I don't need to go there, I need to go... Wait, why am I doing that? Pardon me. Don't mind me. There we go. Yeah, I shouldn't have 5 belts in a line like this, but nobody's going to be crossing that, so it's totally fine. So I could build my darts first, and I think I want a couple of these actually, a couple of the basic darts, and I think this is the only thing I need wood for, so I'm just gonna go like this and take the whole stinking thing over. And man, I really apologize for this lack of light. I'm always building at night. Like I'm burning the midnight oil here. So can I get 2 of them in here? Yes. I actually do want to keep this in place here. that's the first step. And you know what? I'm complaining about light because I haven't made any in a while. There we go. And of course it's almost daytime. That's just fantastic. So I can go all the way up to gun turret damage 5. So let's see, it was copper that was next. And instead of bringing over another copper line, I'm actually just going to steal part of this here because I can. And why not? I mean, it's so close. And actually, I'm going to steal this copper line too. So plastic line. Let's do both of them. How about that? Except I need the... whatever. I can jump it later. So this one's going to come down. And then let's do like this. Will that reach? It will not. Of course not. Of course not. That's not good. So this is the farthest I can reach between these. So I could do something like this. Like I said, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, so I can just set it up as such. And then this one takes copper. And of course I need some power to these guys. That'll work. And then I have to do something different with the power. I don't like how this looks. But that's not going to reach, of course. It's ugly, but it works. That's the end of that line. You know, it really would be better if I just accepted the fact that I need a space in here. Sometimes you have these ideas and they just don't work out. But it's totally fine. It's okay to be wrong on this stuff sometimes. So if I put that like this, and of course this is still not long enough. Now that reaches everybody, so that's kind of, ooh, but not these guys. So instead I have to go like this. Not a problem. Now these are getting everything that they need to make the standard dart arm ammo. Next step is the plastic. So we'll just, let's just keep this pattern. This is actually kind of nice. It's not quite as pretty as I would like it. Okay, actually it's pretty good. Just do the same thing like this. Get our long-headed inserters in there. That'll get us all the way here. Now is the problem. Now we need, let's see, let's just get some of these good ones here. What does our pollution look like? Wow, our pollution is really not bad, and it could be because we're pulling from buffers. Well, this whole thing is running. There's a full line of copper running right now, and full line of, wow, full line of steel and iron plates. A little bit. Oh yeah, that's another thing I did, was I shut off these boilers and generators, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on this. The plan was to actually move that, and I can do it. I was going to do it on camera, so hopefully I can get that done today. But let's get this done here. So these can make 10 every 6 seconds. You know what? I actually didn't check the time. This is 5 seconds. Okay, what's the next one? The next one's going to take 8 seconds. So the time takes a little bit longer each time, and this also takes 5 poison capsules. And the poison capsules take quite a bit of ingredients here. So I'm not sure how we're going to do this. Because we could do this again, but now we need to do something like this almost. Now what did I say this was? 8 seconds. It needs 5 every 8 seconds, and this can make how many? This can make 1 every 8 seconds, so I need 5 of these for every one of these. This isn't going to work at all. So it's just the poison capsules? What if I did? I don't like how these pipes are here. I might actually shift them up so that they're out of the way. Because I'm thinking if this is going to take 8 seconds and I need 5 of them, then I need basically, what I need to do is go 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I ran out of assemblers. Okay. It's fine. These ones can go here, right? Just do just like we did, but I need them on both sides because I need enough for 2. Let's just get that in there to stop these lights from blinking. There we go. Ooh, that's close. But I'm kind of digging this setup. I'll be honest. I kind of like how that turned out. Okay, and another thing is that these need 3 different ingredients, and I cannot get that in on one belt, so that's a problem. Yep, that's a problem. And there's the purple science that we can't do yet. So of course we can get another belt in the middle, which would be for probably the steel, and we could do a steel and green circuit or electronic circuit mixed belt in the middle like this. So we have to do one of those things where we have the long-handed inserters like this coming off of that belt, and then this side's going to insert here, right? Let's just get some little lights every which way. First of all, let's move this out of the way. And let's just do it up here. Whoa. Not where I wanted that. Okay, and there. There we go. Okay, so that's been successfully bypassed. I'm actually going to go ahead and... Is there anything I need? Worker robot cargo size, that's not really going to help me out. Trash slots. How about worker speed? Yes, I definitely want that. So now these guys are going to be up here. Oh, you know what? That's a bummer. Okay, well I actually might need to use more of those undergrounds, as much as I don't want to. And these guys are going to take from here. Place like this. because these guys are going to have to take from a belt. Oh gosh. You know, I don't really have to do this here. I could just bring this belt out of the way. There we go. I have a bunch of plastic. Let's just drop it in there. Alright, the only thing is, and I think the coal's going to have to come in on 2 lines. Oh, actually that worked out really well. I could do that here, like this. And then these guys can... And the reason why coal would be there is because it takes 10 coal for each poison capsule. It only takes 3 of each for the other one. So I think this yellow belt would be enough if we did a mixed belt there. So that's the plan. And oh gosh, I should have done this one first, but whatever. The only thing that would be nice is if I had a little extra, because you'll see that I need that poison capsule. I already mentioned it for the artillery, right? For this guy, it takes 5 capsules, and it's the same thing every 8 seconds. So we'll just get this for now, and then I think what's going to happen is when I have extras, I'll just take them off there. And I only need a certain amount of darts. I think like 1,000 darts would be enough, so I could cap those off and then worry about the other stuff later. So let's get these where we want them. And I actually have coal here, so this is another thing I have to do, is split this guy. I don't need oh, I do need sulfur actually, just not yet. Oops. So the coal's gonna get split here. Let's not worry about that one yet. I don't think we're gonna have time to make the artillery shells, unfortunately, in this episode. And I know I need coal for maybe do I need it for explosives? Yes, coal and sulfur. Okay. So now we're taking care of those poison capsules. Oh, might as well get these in here. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to jump something here because... Well, I guess that was okay. I need a place to put these, and I wish... let's do this. I'm going to change up my design just a little because... it's still not enough room. Is it? No. But I can do it even further again. Because this still reaches, it just means that I need to have another power pole. And it doesn't reach, but that's okay, I'll use the longer one. Excellent. Now, I can have a shared chest between these two. That's what I wanted. Let's just cut it off there. Okay, our coal supply is kind of running low, but that's probably because, oh boy, now this is going to be a problem. Oh yeah, we are almost out of power. So something's happening. It looks like, okay, these guys are not producing because they don't have wood. What happened to all of our wood? So I guess it got prioritized, which is okay, but then it should have... Okay, yeah, it's just not enough to feed everything. So that's a big, huge bummer because we can't run out of power. I should have stopped that when I saw it was already not supplying these guys right here. those don't get supplied, we're just going to have lots of problems. Let me just fill this up here. That'll keep us going for a little while. As long as we can kind of get through this. Gosh, I don't have much pulp, but I can get more. Let's just fill it up with pulp. There we go. So now all these cokeries are going to run. Oh, of course, we're really low on power. Let's just throw the rest of this pulp into these bio burners. And they're not going to burn very long in here, but hopefully enough to get us through this outage, sort of. Yeah, everything's running out, but ooh, and we're really close on the power. So at least this cokeries, everything will be prioritized to deliver pellet coke to our power supply. This is the only place where it's not a priority. And you know what, I can switch it just for now, but that means we're not going to get coal for what we're doing. But it's okay because we're still kind of designing everything. And all we really have left is just to get that steel and green circuits. And you know what? Let's make sure we know where we're going to go from. So it looks like it's here. Oops. I do not like this at all. I'm trying to drive in a straight line so that I can place the belt in a straight line. So here's our steel. And green circuits are right here. Cool. So how are we going to split this? I wonder if I can do this. Because one thing I know is that I have to go underground. Well, this might not work out very well. Nope, I don't think so. Let's do that. And there we go. Don't really have this isn't really gonna it's not going to affect our gun turrets. Whoops, 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 whoops. I can see a mistake. Just a little bit of steel plates. There we go. And use my robots for once today. I've been not using them in the past. So the only thing that we forgot this one. And we'll just see this whole thing in action. So it looks like these guys are already stockpiling both sides, so those are good. They're not getting any coal though, that's going to be a problem. So just for the sake of this episode, let's get that running. Whoops. And if things were laid out a little bit better, it might not be so hard to drive around here, but that is what we're looking at, unfortunately. Let's switch this because now it looks like the, whoops. I mean, I should just turn off that priority altogether. The only bad thing about this, the way I have this arranged, is that yes, it's better to prioritize toward our fuel. However, once that is full, then it goes to the smelters. Now, I'd rather have it go, I mean, yeah, no, smelters should be like the last priority because, well, it's hard to say because, okay, I have like military science running off of that, and now I have these um, military things running, recipes running off of this coal as well. So if you see this line actually comes down and it goes into military science, but now it's also feeding into what we just created. And it's not really a priority because if you think about it, like if smelting stopped, then all of our raw ingredients would stop, where if the coal stopped, then at least we would have everything else. It would just be the smelting that would be, or I mean the, well, you know what I mean. There we go. Just make it look a little nicer. So, oh, I guess we did get some coal in here because we've already got 20 poison darts. I'm just going to drop in here what I have. So a few of them will run. So oh, it takes 10 per. Okay. So there's the poison capsules. They look kind of funny, and they actually kind of work like grenades. So you can actually use these as a weapon too. Boom. Little gas cloud does damage. Hurts me too. Has a nice long effect. Now when the poison darts are shot at the enemy, they don't have any effect though, unfortunately. It does a lot of damage. There it goes. So now we've got 40, 42, and it just keeps going up. So that's that. Now the next step we'll be looking at creating our rocket setup, which we'll need to produce the artillery poison ammo. So I guess that takes care of this episode. In the next episode, I think we'll definitely try to get those rockets done so we can set up the prototype artillery. I actually do have a design, so I'm just going to go ahead and share that now, since this is kind of a longer episode already. This is the outpost. So the idea here is that you have this remote outpost, and it has its own power supply. I did have this with a radar, which could scan the area, so it's nice because then you can use the map view and actually like zoom in on it and see what's going on. Unfortunately, that uses just a little bit too much power. Even though the only things using power in here would be the artillery platform and the inserters and things like that don't use much power, that radar just drains the batteries like crazy. Even with 6 of these and several solar panels, it just takes too much power. So the idea is I plop this down and load up these chests so I could put some poison darts in here, and then the artillery goes in here, and just kind of let it do its thing. And it works pretty well in testing just as it is, but it uses a ton of ammunition, so I figured I had to make something like this to be able to stock it up every time, and then I can just plop them around the base. And if I want to, it is possible that I could just change one of the power poles and as I'm walking out to the spawner base, so you see on the map like these spawners that are really close to the pollution, I could actually walk out there with power poles and then just plop it down with my robots and then just walk away, and it would just do its own thing. So hopefully we'll get to use that even in the next episode. That would be really cool. We'll just see how far we get. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.